Hi friends, host Eric here, host of Talking to Famous People. And tonight, I want to talk to you about life as debate ground and cognitive function theory as meta framework. I'll explain what all that means. So debate's full of a lot of jargon that is extremely useful in understanding everything in life. But unfortunately, we don't equip most of our kids with that jargon. And so, what I'm saying here is this. When you're born and you're a little kid and you start to learn language and you're hearing things all the time, you're hearing words from people all the time. Those words, a lot of them, almost all of them that aren't extraordinarily practical, directly instrumental things, are going to be doing on some level to the kid the function of giving them rules to internalize, ways of understanding themselves as they relate to the world, ways of creating meaning about stuff they see, like rules to, when you see this, call the cops. Like basic behavioral rules like that. And rules like a stitch in time saves 9. Always prepare for possible negative things. You know, like be prepared. The Boy Scouts number one rule. Or you'll always miss 100% of the shots you never take. And, don't be afraid to take risks. It's how great things are achieved. Or, like that one success is built on the backs of 100 failures. Keep trying and persisting in the same idea. Or, if you fail, try again, and you'll eventually succeed. Versus another axiom, which says, doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results is the definition of insanity. Wait a second, what about try again? Alright, so how confusing is that to a little kid? Which one do I believe? Which one is true? Because you're presented these things, you're not presented them with any framework at all. And so, here's the deal. And mostly in life, people are either doing contention level stuff or framework level stuff. Contention level stuff is like, a stitch in time saves 9. People in general, should prioritize preparedness in their thinking. That's contention level stuff. Framework level stuff is like, here's why we should prioritize preparedness over what you want to do, and why your choice for prioritization is worse than my choice based on what kind of prioritization perspective it manifests. That's framework level stuff. People make those kind of arguments all the time. And we get so caught up in that we forget that nothing that we're doing there counts on the flow. It doesn't count for anything in the debate round, because the debate round is going to be decided on the meta framework issue. If that goes either, if it ever gets interested in the round at all, it's going to be decided on the meta framework issue. And the only reason rounds keep getting decided on contention and framework level issues is because people just don't understand. They just do not understand the way human cognition and human existence works. It's not there. We cannot say this aphorism is applicable to people. All of our aphorisms need to be like useful for those with this dominant cognitive function or this dom second pairing or something like that, you know. It's good advice for those people, because it is good advice for me to look before I leave. So I need to remember, I need to be actively thinking, I need to use my conscious learning from the world brain, not my natural Eric, manifesting Eric way, to achieve a little balance in that area, because the ratio of cost benefit there is so enormous, right? Looking before I leap takes very little time, even if it's a metaphor, even if it's whatever it is I'm rushing headlong into. It takes very little time to pause, reflect a bit, and take a second look, and at least tone down your immediate response. So that's one of those areas where that's good algorithm for me. It's offering me a quick and easy trigger to install into my mainframe that will potentially, at least, help me to avoid certain poor choices. The meta framework then is that. It is, why are we arguing about whether your value or mine is better? We need to be arguing about whether your value or mine is better for what type of person, in what context. And it seems so abundantly obvious now to me, and I think to a lot of people, that this sort of nuanced understanding of human behavior, liability, responsibility, obligation is the only way that is remotely in keeping with what objectivity, experience, and logic tell us is the only sensible way to go about understanding those matters. Those matters are basically governance, of society, of how to set up mores that preclude bad stuff we don't like, and allow good stuff we do like, and ideally maybe even encourage it. All those sort of issues, the real answer to them has to do with the fact that individual human beings manifest cognitive perspectives and thus behave in response to stimuli in predictable ways that we know can predictably, for example, diminish, dismiss, or reduce some perspectives such that needful protections those perspectives provide are lost, and individual human beings are subject to real violence, to diseases of identity, and to an ecosystem of time objects that permits at least some ontological violence. So I believe that in debate, people are always talking about this critical theory nonsense about the oppressors and the dominant elite and the oppressed peoples and the marginalized and all that crap. Why do they talk about that? Because they were raised, brought up, and taught to think through the wrong fucking framework. The wrong framework tells us this. It says we need to interpret these ideas independent of individuals such that we have universal principles we can apply. There's only one universal principle that needs to be applied. Negative right. Very, very simple. Not difficult. And it's not intellectually challenging. It's not morally or ethically challenging or anything. That's the universal. Negative rights. It's the only possible universal that could possibly be. Everything else is basically ways in which our cognitive perspectives befuddle us such that we can justify to ourselves endorsing, advocating, or using threats and actual violence to compel the supremacy of our perspectives over others. Fortunately, the world is equipped with not just those perspectives that blindly do that. I don't think there are any perspectives that intentionally do that. There might be, but there are a lot of perspectives that blindly do that because their prioritization of something like safety or group harmony or something like that blinds them to the fact that they are themselves culpable and liable and engaged in that violence that the police officer uses to enforce the policy they advocated for, they justify, etc. Because those impacts, those impacts of their ethical misstep in supporting statist violence are removed from them in time and space, they're able to successfully pretend that they bear no responsibility for it. But they do. And it's easy to keep that lie up because they and all of their friends are super nice people and super good people. And, you know, like liberals, college educated liberal professionals who shop at Whole Foods and believe that they feel good about paying taxes because there are people less advantaged than they who benefit and all that kind of stuff, right? People are so, in order for them to get past this, they have to say, oh shit, we made a big mistake here, guys. We keep focusing on the fact that we're really nice, we really want what's good, and we care about other people, and other people are suffering and problems with us, and we have completely